It's a 3-1 victory for the Powell River Kings over the Cowichan Valley Capitals. A weekend sweep, 4 straight, and second outright in the Island Division. Joined here in our post-game show by Hunter Findlater. Hunter, I want to talk about this little ride that the Kings are on here, because it kind of started before that 3-3, a little bit of a roadblock against the Victoria Grizzlies at the start of the month. How is this team kind of feeling here through the month of November, and I guess now able to get on an official roll, winning their last 4?
Well, I just think after that game in Chilliwack where we dropped that heartbreaker in overtime, I think all the boys kind of just came together, and I can't really explain it. We're all playing together now, and I think we've all got our acts together. And I don't know.
You've been in different venues. You've been in different kind of atmospheres. I mean, you bring up that road trip through the interior. I mean, that Chilliwack game, the big ice, the big arena, the Merritt game, the complete opposite of that. Yeah. Prince George, a unique venue. Then you come back here for a pair. What does it say about this team to be able to do it in different venues and different settings, and to be able to play I know tonight wasn't the best game, but relatively consistently night in, night out.
I just think it shows a lot of character throughout the whole team. Like, all 4 lines can play against their top line. I think we're just evenly powered.
Missing Gavin Rawnsley tonight, but I wanted to talk on the line with yourself, Liam Lawson, and Gavin Rawnsley. You had to rotate through different centermen and different wingers tonight, but just talk on that quote-unquote fourth line, because it's been generating a lot for the Kings over the last handful of games.
Yeah, I think we've been practicing a lot together, so we're kind of just gaining a lot of chemistry, and we feel good together. Me, Gavin, and Lawson. So
you're still awaiting this first goal here in Powell
Yes,
River.
I am.
You've had terrible. Some chances. You've had some chances. Yeah. Is it weighing on your mind at all? I mean, you've got friends and family here. You had some chances tonight. Just take us through your game tonight, because it's so close.
Yeah.
It's so close.
I thought I had the one to take the lead in the slot, but it got blocked, and I don't know. It's starting to get frustrating, but I can't really – I got to just go up and play my game, and it'll come.
Let's talk about tonight overall from a team perspective. I mean, you concede the first goal, and up until that road trip that you mentioned, the Kings hadn't won when conceding the first goal. They were 0-7. You beat Merritt when conceding first. You beat Prince George conceding first. Now you beat Cowichan conceding first. Let's just talk about the game overall. I guess getting it done when things aren't quite going how smooth they were last night.
Yeah, well, the Capitals, they came out a lot harder. Kent said they'd come out a lot harder in the first, and we kind of just had to weather the storm, and we didn't really play that well in the first, but we started to get our game together.
How much different is it in a doubleheader environment? I mean, you say you're expecting them to come out harder. Obviously, the result last night probably spurring that on. As a player, what's it like for a doubleheader against the same team here?
It's definitely a lot harder, because you come out and there could be rivalries between other players, and they get under your skin, you get under their skin, and I don't know, it's just a different environment.
Ryland Ball gets the greasy one there late in the first period. Midway through, it was 11:38 through the first period. You get back on level terms. Kind of, how did that steer it? Because Cowichan out shooting the Kings pretty badly in that first period. Not quite what the Kings were doing to them last night, but certainly had an advantage there. What did that do to kind of spur the bench on, particularly into the second, where things were very even? We started to see that emotion, that rivalry show through.
Yeah, it was great, because first period, the forwards weren't really generating anything. It was great. Ryland got that for us, so we can be on even terms going into the last 2 periods.
Fun playing against Cowichan. There seemed to be a lot of, as we said, rivalry, a lot of emotion. That makes for an interesting game, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Let's talk about Victoria. That was where you kind of burst onto the scene with the Powell River Kings a couple of seasons back in the playoffs. Had a fantastic series there. Yeah. Last year, obviously, the big victory, the monkey off the back, Colton Sandberg, Game 6, double OT. Doesn't get much better than that. Yeah. 3 games against the Grizzlies so far, yet to find that result. Sounds a lot like the Cowichan Valley Capitals. Just talk us through what you remember about the Grizzlies here through 3 games so far.
They're tough to play. They work hard. They're a good team to work, and I think once we come out on home ice, just like Cowichan, it'll be a different story.
Hunter, congratulations on the game tonight. Thank you so much for coming up here and doing this, and I will let you get back down to the guys to celebrate.
All right.
Brock Stoyer here takes over in our post-game show. Coach, let's talk about maybe what didn't quite go smoothly tonight. I mean, you get the job done, you get the 2 points, you get the weekend sweep, but it was far from pretty.
Yeah, definitely not the start we wanted tonight, and evident in the first 20 minutes being down 1 quickly. We spotted them 2 power plays right off the hop. I think they had 2 in the first 5 minutes, which is uncharacteristic of our group. So, I think as a whole, we started to find our legs in the second period, and moving forward into the third, you could see that our conditioning and our depth really took over with a lot of icings on their part. But you got to give them credit. I mean, obviously, second place was on the line here today, and they battled. I mean, it's kudos to our guys for sticking with it and finding their game and getting pucks to the net. And, another floater point shot by Jeremy Leclerc finds the back for the winner. But, no, I mean, it was a good hockey game today.
You talk about conditioning. How much did that factor in the Kings that they had, the 18 to go to? You had the 7D to rotate through when things got a little bit tough. Cowichan, they started with 11 forwards with no Ryan Burton. They quickly went down to 10 with no Rhett Wilcox. They started and completed the weekend with 5 defensemen. How did you feel that factored in the weekend as the weekend went on?
It is tough. I mean, it's you never like to see kids get injured and hurt, but it's a fast physical game, so it's going to happen. I mean, it's something that obviously you notice as a coach, and you warn your guys about that. There are opportunities, and if we play the right way, that we can really grind them down mentally and physically. So I think our forwards did a great job of mucking up down below the goal line and really taking advantage of the 5D that they did have and generating opportunities from below the goal line and getting pucks up to the point. And I mean, hats off to those guys for battling. I mean, we knew after last night it was going to be a tight game today, but hey, we prevailed.
You look at Leclerc's goal last night, his goal tonight, Sandberg last night, Stevens last night, all from the D-core. I would say that if those shots that beat Stormfanoff and Lane McCashew last night and tonight were taken without traffic in front, those goaltenders are going to stop them pretty much every single time. I mean, none of them were really lasers. We joked before the game tonight, Sandberg's was all along the ice. When goals like that go in, and when you're having success from the point shot, what does that say about the rest of the team? Because I imagine it means you're winning battles, you're getting net position. What does that say about the way that the Kings are playing overall?
Oh, it means we're playing a well-rounded game, obviously. The forwards are making a good read at getting the puck up to them, up to the D-men, and then going to the front of the net and not allowing the goalie to see it. So, it's nice when the D can contribute. I know they're happy. I mean, scoring is fun. So, no, it's good. I mean, it shows that guys are willing to pay the price to get to the front of the net to score goals. I think, we had a couple jam-ins last night, too, right around the net, where in this portion of the season you're into your next 20 games, you're going from between game 20 and game 40. Now you see who's willing to pay the price to get to the front of the net and go to those dirty areas to score, and that's what makes a good player. I mean, our guys have been working on the cycle and battling down low and creating opportunities for our D to get a shot lane, and the D did a good job of finding the shot lane and then not letting the goalie to see it, and if he does see it and makes the first save, at least we're there to get the rebounds. So this is where you start to buckle down in those next 20 games, where it shows you, and then into your last 20 going into the playoffs, you're ready to go and you know how you can generate offense.
It's interesting you bring that up because we are nearing that midway point of the season. Tonight was game 27. Victoria will be 28-29, and boom, that's halfway done of the BCHL season. What are you looking for out of coaches in terms of guys, particularly coming up to their first year in the league from midget or from Junior B? Because the longer the season goes on, it's not necessarily an excuse, but the reasoning of that adjustment period becomes, I guess, less and less of a factor the longer the game goes on. What are you looking for out of those first year guys as we move forward through this season here?
It's just consistency. It's being an everyday player, and I mean that's not just here in games, but in practice and in the gym and how they go about their business on a daily basis. It's it's a lot of factors. I mean, obviously the game should be the easy part. We like to pride ourselves on our practice level and our compete. So guys are maintaining their bodies and working hard in practice. The game should be the easy part, where you get the puck on your stick, you already know what you're going to do with it, right? So it's it's just that and consistency and guys buying into what we're preaching. And I think Finney just said it there. Everybody's buying in. Everyone's chipping away and contributing. And I mean, it's a happy group, and we're winning. Obviously, we got off to a hot start, and everyone was really pleased and excited. And then you hit that little skid there, and guys are squeezing the sticks and cutting corners and things. You're just not getting the bounces, but that'll happen when you rest on your laurels. So I think we found a way here to be consistent and shot block and find scoring up and down our lineup, which is key to our success.
Let's go ahead to next week. I was going to ask you about Jeff Smith, 38 of 39.
Well,
tonight.
again here, Alex. He was excellent tonight.
It stopped a lot around the ankles. Had to be very, very, very good down low. There was a lot of chances to the side of the net. I do want to talk about next week, though. I mean, it's a very similar setup. Not a whole ton of success this season against Victoria. You go into buildings at the Q Center, you lay an egg. They come over here. Kings lay an egg. They lose 5-2. You've been shut out against Victoria this season, 3-0. They kind of bookended the Kings scoring drought there, where they were shut out for 3 hours and plus. It's a rivalry. It's a team that the Kings don't like to play. There's a lot of history there. Let's just talk through the season series so far, I guess, and what you've seen out of the Victoria Grizzlies this year through 3 games.
Yeah, you see a team that obviously comes in here and doesn't like to play us. So anytime you're playing a rival, and you mentioned history there about playoff runs and the back and forth, but no, it's it's going to be an intense series just like tonight, this week. And I mean, obviously anytime you have a team in your building two nights back to back, you need both 4 points. So I'd expect it to be a typical Powell River Victoria game, a fast-paced, chippy game, and the more disciplined team who can stay disciplined out of the box and disciplined in their systems will generate chances and probably end up in the back of the net and win some games. So, I mean, obviously we've spotted them 6 points already this year. So I think it's time we owe them one.